Hi guys, today's lesson is over using generic rectangles to multiply. And a question you might ask, why am I using generic rectangles? And the answer to this question is this. It's a shortcut method, of going from a product to a sum. So basically guys, you're not going to have to use algebra tiles anymore for this method of going from a product to a sum. Here are the steps you're going to take. And again, if you need to, please write these down. Set up your rectangle by putting the terms along the base and height of your rectangle. Again, we'll give you an example here in a little bit. Separate each term with a line. Step 3, multiply the terms on the outside to find the missing parts on the inside. And step 4, add together like terms inside the rectangle. After you've added like terms, what's simplified on the inside is your sum. So again, if you need to write down all these steps, please do so because we're going to go over a couple of examples right now, okay? So right now, here is the first example. And it says, given the product, find its sum. So right now we have the product of negative 2 times x minus 2. And so if you look back here at step number 1 here, it says this. Set up your rectangle by putting the terms, along the base and the height of your rectangle. So I'm going to take the term on the outside of the parenthesis and I can put that along the base or the height. I'm going to put it along the height here of the rectangle. So I'm going to put the negative 2 right here. Alright, and again, this is just a shortcut way. That way you don't have to use tiles here. I'm going to put the terms now inside the parentheses on the base of my rectangle here. So I'm going to put x and then minus 2 right here. Now if you remember back here, step number 2 says separate each term with a line, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to separate, since there's no terms to separate along the height of my rectangle, I'm going to separate the terms along the base of my rectangle. I see 2 different terms there. So I'm going to separate here. I'm going to put a line in between the x and minus 2. Okay, now I just have to multiply the base and the height of each of the terms here to find what's on the inside. So if I were to ask you, what's x times negative 2, you would tell me that that's negative 2x. And if I were to ask you, what is negative 2 times negative 2, well, you would tell me that's positive 4. So now what you see on the inside is your sum, okay? And I'm going to write that now. That is my answer. And so now I've gone from a product to a sum of negative 2x plus 4. That is my answer. That's my shortcut. I didn't have to use any tiles there, okay? All right, this next one I would like you to try out here on your own. Go ahead and pause this right now and try this next one here. We have x plus 4 times x minus 2. Again, this is our product here. We want to go from a product to a sum here. So go ahead and pause it and give it a shot here before you get started here with me going over it. All right, moving on here. I see the product here of x plus 4, x plus 4 times x minus 2. Again, it does not matter. I could put x plus 4 along my height here, or I could put it on the base. It does not matter. What I like to do is I like to put the x here, and or the first terms that I see, the x plus 4, I like to put that along my height there. And then I like to put the what's next in parentheses, the x minus 2, those terms, I like to put on the base of my rectangle. You certainly don't have to. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate each term here with the line. So I separated the x and the minus 2 with the line, and I separated the x and the 4 with the line there, okay? So now I'm going to just multiply to get each part of the rectangle inside the rectangle here. So if I were to ask you what's x times x, you would tell me that that's x squared. If I were to ask you what's negative 2 times x, you would tell me that's negative 2x. If I were to ask you what x times 4 is, you would tell me that that's 4x. And if I were to ask you what's negative 2 times 4, you would tell me that's negative 8. Okay? I'm not quite done yet. If I look back here, the first problem we did with you didn't have step 4. Step 3 we just got done doing. Multiply the terms on the outside to find the missing parts on the inside. Step 4 is important now with a problem like this, the second problem that I've given you here. Add together like terms inside the rectangle. After you've added like terms, what's simplified on the inside is your sum. So I see right now there are some terms that are alike. There's not any term that's alike with x squared here, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay, and this should just be a review for you. And now I've got to add together like terms. I see the x terms here are alike here. I have 4x minus 2x. If I were to ask you what's 4x minus 2x, you would tell me if that's positive 2x. And there's nothing to add together with the minus 8, the negative 8. So I'm just going to write my sum like so now. Here is my answer. My sum is x squared plus 2x minus 8. All right? If you would please tell someone close by you right now why you are why are you using generic rectangles to go from a product to a sum? Why are you doing what you're doing here? If you can answer that question and you feel comfortable solving these problems, you're good to go. If you need to go back and rewind and find out anything more about this, or rewind it and look over some things, please do so. Thank you.